أهلا وسهلا. كيف حالكم؟ أرجو أن تكونوا بخير. I would like to welcome all of you to our new series. During this first lesson, we will move away from the part of speech الاسم and focus on another word class in the Arabic language known as الحرف, and which includes what we know in English as prepositions, conjunctions, and particles. The reason behind this is, as previously mentioned, we are slowly but steadily moving towards forming sentences, and in order to achieve that, we obviously need more than nouns. I'm not saying it's not feasible with nouns only, but for the sake of diversity, we need another part of speech. And here you can ask, why not verbs then? Well, if you didn't miss our adjective series, I will link it up. You'd probably know that we already moved from words to phrases. And before completing our mission and move from phrases to sentences, we need to stop by semi-sentences. And that is not possible without al-harf, since this part of speech contributes to forming semi-sentences. I hope you've got the idea. Either way, by the end of this series, you will see what I'm talking about. I just wanted you to visualize our plan ahead of time to use it as a landmark. Taking that into consideration, we will break down this series into two parts. The first lesson will be about prepositions, and the second one is all about adverbs. Now, before delving into prepositions, let's quickly sum up what do we mean by al-harfu. We already have a full lesson about the parts of speech that I will link up as well. Right, so the particle, or al-harfu, is neither a noun nor a verb, and it's only meaningful if joined with other parts of speech. It represents what we know in English as prepositions, conjunctions, and particles. And I have to highlight the fact that oftentimes confusion arises around this part of speech due to its name. The reason why, al-harfu literally means the letter. So a lot of students think or might think that we are talking about a specific letter or letters in general. But it's not the case. As far as grammar is concerned, al-harfu represents the category of particles, and particles in Arabic can come as one letter or more. You will see that in a couple of minutes with prepositions, which are part of this word class. Speaking of, I think it's time to move on to prepositions and to the genitive case as well. What is that? Let's see. By now you already know that prepositions are part of the word class al-harfu in the Arabic language, which means that they are only meaningful if joined with other parts of speech. Terminology-wise, a preposition is called harf jar. Again, harf jar. And I'm glad to inform you that prepositions have a very limited number in Arabic to the point of being listed. In fact, the majority of grammarians have held that there are 20 prepositions in total. I'm just providing you with the exact number just for the record. So fear not, we are not going to learn them at one go. For the time being, we are going to learn 4 of these and save the rest to the right time. So here we have our prepositions. From right to left, في, على, إلى, من. في, على, إلى, من. As you can see, all of these have more than one letter, so don't get confused by the name of the part of speech they belong to. Again, في, على, إلى, من. And as you can see, these are pretty easy to remember. Now, in order to understand what do we mean by genitive case, we need to let these prepositions interact with nouns and see what will happen. Speaking of, here we have 4 nouns, and what you see here is the definite and indefinite version of each one. I'm going to read them first. البيت بيت، الطاولة طاولة العمل عمل المدرسة مدرسة. Again, البيت بيت الطاولة طاولة العمل عمل المدرسة مدرسة. Now, our plan is to combine these nouns with our prepositions and see what happens in terms of syntax and case ending. And this is how we will get to learn about the genitive case we are talking about. But before we do that, let's take a look at our nouns first. We all agree that all of these are nouns, isn't it? All of them can be defined with the definite article al and can end with tanween, not to mention that two of these end with ta marbuta, which is another sign of nouns. Now, if you pay close attention to the last letter of these nouns, definite and indefinite virgin, you will notice that they are in conjunction with either a dhamma or a double dhamma, also known as tanween al-dhamm. Do you know why? Well, the reason behind that is the default case for nouns is known as the nominative case, either a dhamma or a double dhamma, depending on what? You've guessed it, depending on the state of definiteness. To put it differently and simply, a stand aloof, or let's say an isolated noun, will always end with either a dhamma or a double dhamma. However, and this is very important please, when interacting with other words, noun can either keep their default case, which is the nominative one, or move on to another case ending. In total, there are 3 case endings for nouns. As I said, for nouns, verbs and particles have a different story. So again, there are 3 cases for nouns in the Arabic language: the nominative case, the genitive case, and finally the accusative case. And here it stands to reason to ask why the case ending changes. Well, the reason behind this variation in terms of case ending is due to the interaction of the noun with other words. This will cause a change in its grammatical function, thus its case ending. And this is what we are about to explore with nouns interacting with prepositions. No need to worry, please. The rules are very simple. Syntax-wise, a preposition always comes before the noun, and case ending-wise, the noun following the preposition will be transformed from the nominative case to the genitive one. This means that the last letter of the noun will no longer be in conjunction with a dhamma or a double dhamma. Instead, it will be in conjunction with a kasra or a double kasra. So again, a preposition always comes before the noun, and the noun following the preposition will be transformed from the nominative case to the genitive one. That's it. It's quite simple. Now it's time to put knowledge into practice. Each time we are going to link a preposition to a noun in both of its versions, definite and indefinite one, and see how the interaction will result in changing the default case of the noun. First on the list, the preposition fi and the noun al-baytu. Remember, syntax-wise, a preposition always comes before the noun, so we do say fi al-bayti, fi baytin. As you can see, we have changed the last movement mark of both versions of the noun, definite and indefinite one, to kasra and double kasra, and this is known as the genitive case. Be careful please. Genitive refers to the case ending, not the name of the compound constituted by the alliance of the two words. That's another story. A full lesson will be uploaded regarding this topic right after this series. Moving on to the next example. Again, the preposition comes first, followed by the noun, and the case ending will change from the nominative one to the genitive one. على الطاولة على طاولة. Again, على الطاولة. على طاولة. I think you've got the hang of it. Next. إلى العمل. إلى عمل. Please note that the meaning of all of these compounds is not complete, i.e., no information, desire, order, or command can be understood from them, and that's completely normal since we didn't learn how to form sentences yet. All you need is to focus on the syntax and the case ending, and of course, memorizing these prepositions would be a big plus. Moving on, last but not least, we have the preposition من and the noun المدرسة. Let's combine these, shall we? And the result is من المدرسة. من مدرسة. من المدرسة. من مدرسة. Good on you. Well done, everyone. That brings us to the end of today's lesson. شكرا على حسن استماعكم ومع السلامة.